This episode is provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis, based on the most relevant LinkedIn posts about AI in B2B marketing in calendar weeks 25 and 26. Frennis is a B2B market research company that supports enterprise marketing teams in unlocking the full potential of their customer data with the help of AI. You can find more info in the description. So, welcome to the deep dive.
Thanks for having me. Always good to be here.
Yeah, of course. Our mission today is to, really decode the absolute top AI trends and the major shifts we've seen just sweeping across the B2B marketing space on LinkedIn over the past 2 weeks.
Right. There's been a lot of chatter.
Oh, a ton. We're looking at the good, the bad, and the honestly very messy reality of what happens when enterprise teams try to scale this technology.
Yeah, and to kick things off, I want to frame the core problem we are seeing across all these discussions.
Okay, lay it on me.
Imagine you've just built this state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar water pipe. It's massive. It's incredibly efficient. It can move, 1 million gallons a minute.
Sounds like a total dream scenario for any operations or revenue team. Like you finally have that scale.
Exactly. You turn on the valve, the pressure builds, and the system just hums flawlessly until you walk to the end of that pipe, look down, and realize you've just pumped 1 million gallons of toxic mud into a pristine swimming pool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right. The infrastructure worked perfectly. The volume was completely unprecedented, but the actual output was entirely toxic.
That metaphor is exactly the crisis playing out right now with go-to-market strategies. I mean, teams are building these incredibly powerful AI engines, but they're suddenly realizing that, automating a bad process just means you fail at the speed of light.
Precisely. Just failing faster.
Yeah. So let's start right on the front lines with the outbound pipeline generation. The hype right now is completely deafening. We saw this breakdown by Zach Darras showing how you can build a fully autonomous AI SDR, a sales development rep agent handling all cold outreach powered by Claude in under 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
I know, 45 minutes to essentially build an employee. And Jan Kozak Gigerich shared that his AI SDR booked 140 calls across his team in 30 days. It had a 32% reply rate without a single manual message.
That is just wild volume.
It really is. And then you have massive pushes like Taylor Heron running, get this, 1 million emails a month using intent data, seeing click-through rates as high as 30%.
Right. And when you hear numbers like that, the immediate reaction from literally any executive is, we need this deployed yesterday or we're going out of business.
Oh, for sure. Total FOMO.
Exactly. But there's a hidden crisis here. Alina Karnak shared a statistic that should honestly make every revenue leader hit the brakes. She noted that 33.4% of teams that tried these AI SDRs have already stopped using them.
Hold on. Wait, stop right there. If a tool books 140 meetings in a month without a single human lifting a finger, any VP of sales is going to pop champagne.
You'd think so, yeah.
Why on earth would they turn a pipeline generator like that off? That just doesn't make logical sense to me.
Because it creates this illusion of success, Volume flatters a dashboard while entirely starving the pipeline of actual quality.
The toxic mud from the water pipe.
Exactly. You can celebrate a massive spike in booked meetings, but if those meetings are with unqualified prospects who have absolutely zero intent to buy, you haven't generated revenue. You've just wasted your sales team's entire quarter taking bad calls.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Richard Dumas pointed out that while 79% of companies bought AI sales tools recently, only 5% say they actually work.
5%? I mean, that is an abysmal success rate for enterprise software. So what are the other 95% doing wrong? Are we just, automating the worst parts of sales?
That's exactly what's happening. Dumas noted that instead of using AI to make outreach genuinely helpful or highly researched, teams just automated the nagging.
The nagging.
Right. They train supercomputers and say, hey, saw you download this white paper, got 15 minutes. It's just faster spam.
Faster spam. That actually reminds me of the story Eddie Reynolds shared. It is hilarious, but really kind of tragic for the state of the industry right now.
Oh, the cold call story.
Yes. He got a cold call from a human SDR who was pitching an AI account research tool. And the entire pitch was about how their software does deep research, so you don't have to send canned, generic templates.
The irony is already building.
Oh, it gets better. The SDR was using a canned pitch on Eddie, trying to sell him on a use case for a team that Eddie didn't even have at his company.
Oh, man.
The pitch literally failed its own promise in real time.
So let me ask you this. Are we just strapping a jet engine to a broken bicycle here? If the underlying message and strategy are fundamentally bad, aren't we just failing faster?
That's the perfect analogy. I mean, A smarter language model doesn't fix a broken outbound strategy. Timing does.
Right, timing. And this is where we sort of transition from what teams are doing wrong to how to actually fix it. A revenue leader, going by SKB, shared a really brilliant insight on this. They completely stopped optimizing their email copy and started optimizing purely for intent.
What does that look like in practice?
Well, they pointed their AI model at 300 specific buying signals. Things like executive job changes, fresh funding rounds, or prospects engaging with competitors online.
Oh, I see. So instead of telling the AI, write a really clever email to this random list, they told the AI, only look at these 300 companies and alert me the second they show a specific behavior.
Exactly. By letting the AI focus strictly on intent and timing, they booked 8 meetings in 14 days. The message wasn't poetry, it didn't need to be. It just arrived at the exact second the buyer actually needed the solution.
That makes so much sense. It really separates the robotic busy work from the actual human relationship. Daniel Litzio-Katzen and Rob Cook both argued this beautifully in their posts. AI should own the things humans naturally hate and are just generally bad at, right? Mass prospecting, deep data research, CRM updates, summarizing transcripts.
The administrative garbage, basically.
Yeah, but garbage. But humans must own the parts that actually move complex deals. The emotional discovery, the nuanced negotiation, building actual trust.
Right. You don't use AI to replace the salesperson's judgment. You use it to clear the desk so they can actually apply that judgment.
Okay, so if outbound is how we push out to buyers, and as we just established, it's becoming this massive tidal wave of automated noise buyers are naturally going to put up walls, right?
Absolutely. They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're going to rely more on pulling us in on their own terms. But this is where the dynamic completely shifts, because traditional SEO search engine optimization is fracturing. We're moving headfirst into the era of AI search, or AEO, answer engine optimization.
And this is a huge seismic shift in how discovery works. Al Alani framed the mechanics of this perfectly. For, 20 years, traditional Google SEO asked one structural question: who ranks number one?
Right, based on page architecture and hyperlinks and all that.
Exactly. But AI search engines, like ChatGPT or Perplexity, they don't care about page rankings.
Yeah.
And AI evaluates semantic relationships to ask a completely different question. Who can I trust enough to recommend?
And the scary part is that you can be completely winning the old game and entirely losing the new one without even realizing it.
Yes, exactly.
Like Connor Gillivan, he ran his company Ecom Balance through a new AEO assessment, and he scored a 2 out of 5.
Ouch.
Yeah, and what he found was fascinating. When buyers asked general informational questions, like just browsing for concepts, his company showed up in the AI answers. But the second a buyer asks an AI a decision stage question, like, say, comparing ROI between vendors, Ecom Balance completely vanished.
Wow.
Yeah, they were visible when buyers were browsing and entirely invisible when they were actually ready to buy.
That is a brutal blind spot to have as a marketer. Matt Sheely laid out the new scorecard for this. You can't just check your keyword rankings anymore. You have to ask a whole new set of questions.
Like what?
Like, are we named in the AI's answer?
Yeah.
Which competitor gets named instead of us? Which source data caused the AI engine to trust them? And most importantly, can we influence that underlying source?
I want to push on that for a second. It sounds like we're optimizing for, a digital reputation system now. You can't just hack your way to the top of Google with 5,000 word listicles and keyword stuffing anymore.
Not at all.
You actually have to be recognized as the authority by the AI's training data.
Exactly. And we have the data to prove how this mechanism actually works. Kyle Atwater-Morley analyzed what genuinely drives visibility in large language models. For years, marketers obsessed over backlinks, other websites linking to yours.
Right, the golden goose of SEO.
But in AI search, backlinks are a terrible predictor of visibility. The correlation is under 0.30. Do you know what actually forces an AI to recommend you? Brand mentions in YouTube impressions. They have a correlation between 0.50 and 0.74.
Oh, wow. Because the AI isn't just crawling a web of links, it's reading the internet's actual conversations. It's looking at entity association.
Exactly.
And Alex Aline confirmed this. He noted that LinkedIn is actually the second most cited domain in all of AI search, appearing in 11% of all answers. But, just getting your name dropped isn't enough, right? I saw Andrew Yon's data on Halfords, the massive UK auto parts retailer.
Oh, this is a great example.
Yeah, they are mentioned in over 88% of AI answers about their category. The AI clearly knows who they are, but Halford's actual website is only cited as the source link 3.5% of the time.
Yeah, that's what we call the citation gap. The AI understands semantically that Halford's is an authority, so it mentioned them in the text. But Halford's own content isn't structured to answer the user's specific prompt, so the AI has to link to like a third-party reviewer or a forum to actually prove its point.
Oh, I see.
Gaetano Nino Dinardi pointed out that most of these AEO problems aren't technical SEO problems at all. They are fundamentally positioning and category fit problems.
Yes. And Zach Peruch tied this back to a fundamental marketing concept from that 2010 book, How Brands Grow. He pointed out that traditional search is driven by keywords, right? A buyer types increase web traffic.
Sure.
But AI search is driven by category entry points. Buyers literally type their entire messy, complex situation into the prompt box. They'll type, I can't tell if my recent traffic drop is due to a Google algorithm change, the rise of AI overviews, or if my content is just bad. How do I audit this?
Right, it's conversational.
Exactly. And if your content isn't anchored to those highly specific real-world buyer situations, the AI will completely ignore you no matter how many times you use the keyword traffic.
Which is why Garrett Sussman is warning that this is a zero-sum game. You can't just have one junior SEO manager running random prompt checks once a month.
Definitely not.
When a brand gets included in an AI answer, another brand usually gets dropped. Sussman noted that Reddit citations jumped 4.4 times after a single ChatGPT update.
Wow, 4.4 times.
Yeah. The underlying algorithms are wildly volatile. You need a dedicated cross-functional team constantly monitoring this.
Okay, let's connect these dots. To execute this hyper-targeted outbound we talked about earlier, and to manage this massive new AI search visibility, companies are deploying AI agents, autonomous software that can execute tasks.
Right.
But here's the massive roadblock. If you take an incredibly smart agent and drop it into a fragmented, messy tech stack, you don't get efficiency, you just get automated chaos.
Welcome to the messy middle. This is where the theoretical dream of AI violently collides with the reality of enterprise data.
Yeah, Lisa Sharipata calls it random acts of AI. Instead of a rogue human sales rep sending a bad email, you now have a rogue AI agent writing a pitch at 11 p.m., updating a Slack channel, but never logging the interaction in the CRM.
It's automation theater.
Exactly. The work is happening, but the business has no record of it.
Henry Schuck diagnosed exactly why this architecture is failing. Enterprise AI has essentially conquered software engineering and customer support. Why? Because that data is highly centralized in clean systems like GitHub or Zendesk.
Makes sense.
But AI hasn't cracked go-to-market yet because GTM data, every sales call, every marketing email, every website visit, it's entirely scattered across 20 different platforms.
Right.
He gave a brilliant example of how this breaks down mechanically. An AI agent gets completely paralyzed if your CRM lists PR tourism as a cold prospect, but your billing software lists Puerto Rico tourism agency as an existing paying enterprise customer.
Because it's machine, it lacks common sense. If the AI doesn't explicitly know they're the exact same entity, it might just blast a 20% discount cold email to an enterprise account that is already paying you full price.
Exactly. Mahjavohi broke this architecture problem down into 4 distinct layers. Layer 1 is the large language model, the brain of the operation. Layer 4 is the execution tools like Salesforce or HubSpot, the hands.
Okay. What about the middle?
Well, the middle layers are completely missing in most companies. We lack layer 2, which is shared context, a unified definition of your ideal customer profile and account history. And we lack layer 3, which is orchestration, the actual logic deciding which system fires when.
Okay, so to use an analogy, letting an AI loose in a fragmented CRM is basically like putting a brilliant Michelin star chef in a commercial kitchen, but the ingredients are hidden inside the walls, the labels are in a foreign language, and half the produce is expired.
That is exactly what it's like.
The chef is a genius, but the meal is still going to be garbage.
100%. The reasoning engine is just starved of context. Benjamin Reed argued that to fix this, AI needs a unified person graph. This means creating one single timeline and a complete unified customer record that syncs across every single system in real time.
Right, otherwise marketing sees one version of the customer, sales sees another.
And the AI is just making highly confident guesses.
And guessing at scale is incredibly dangerous. We saw Guillaume Belil bring up a sobering warning from the Bank of England regarding autonomous agents in the financial sector.
Oh, that was fascinating.
Yeah, they noted that simply having a human in the loop, which is, let's be honest, everyone's favorite safety buzzword right now, is not enough. If an agent operates inside critical workflows, you need hard constraints, circuit breakers, rollback plans, and actual audit trails.
Because think about the speed we are dealing with. If an agent hallucinates and overwrites 1,000 CRM records in 3 seconds, a human in the loop can't click undo fast enough.
No way.
Human oversight is completely useless if the human doesn't have the time or the architectural tools to reverse the machine's action.
Amos Bar-Joseph offered a massive paradigm shift here. He said we need to stop thinking of AI as an AI CMO or an AI sales rep because, frankly, AI is a terrible marketer. It doesn't understand human nuance at all.
Right.
What AI actually is a brilliant software engineer.
Yes, you don't buy an off-the-shelf digital worker and tell it to just do marketing. You use the AI to write the custom code and build the exact software plumbing you need to bend your tech stack around your specific, unique go-to-market strategy.
You call the shots. You decide what good looks like. The AI just builds the infrastructure to make it happen instantly.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the final, and I think the most important piece of this entire puzzle. If agents are doing the data plumbing, if they are sending the hyper-targeted emails, if they are synthesizing the search answers, what exactly is the role of the human marketer?
It's a million-dollar question.
Right. I have to ask, as content generation becomes infinite and essentially free, doesn't human taste become the only real moat a brand has left?
It absolutely does. Louise Brace had a brilliant reflection on this exact existential crisis. She said, we're starting to confuse information with expertise.
Oh, that's good.
Right. Just because you can type a prompt into an AI and get it to spit out a 20-page marketing strategy doesn't make you a marketer. It just means you retrieved information.
Yeah, anyone can retrieve information now.
Exactly. The real defensible value comes from the judgment behind the prompt, knowing what specific questions to ask, understanding the cultural context the AI lacks, and honestly, having the expertise to recognize when the machine is confidently wrong.
Drew Neisser was very passionate about this on LinkedIn. He argued that AI-assisted shouldn't be treated as a scarlet letter. Yes, there is a mountain of AI-generated slop flooding the internet right now. But let's be honest, there is also a mountain of thoughtless, human-only content that reads like it was written by robots.
Oh, for sure.
The tool isn't the villain, the lazy thinker is. Discernment is the differentiator.
And that discernment is what drives actual, measurable business growth. Mark S. Pritchard from Procter & Gamble shared a perfect real-world example of this human moat in action.
Oh, the dish soap story.
Yes. They had successfully launched Dawn Power Wash here in the U.S., and they wanted to adapt that success for their Fairy brand in the U.K. Now, an AI could easily analyze the demographic data and spit out a dozen clever taglines.
Sure.
But it took human observation to realize a crucial cultural nuance. British people have a deeply ingrained ritual of soaking their dirty dishes in the sink before washing them.
Right. An AI sitting in a server farm can't observe a cultural, physical ritual in a kitchen in London.
Exactly. That distinctly human insight led to the Skip the Soak campaign, which drove double-digit growth for the brand. AI accelerated the execution of the campaign, but human empathy and observation found the core insight that actually made it work.
But there is a very real trap here, isn't there? I'm looking at Eric Malilla's post about a recent BCG study. It found that when people use AI for a complex problem that the AI actually handles badly, but the AI sounds super confident in its output, the humans relying on it are 19% less likely to spot the mistake than if they hadn't used the tool at all.
Wow.
Yeah, we get lulled to sleep by the confidence of the machine.
Which is why taste and the discipline to learn from failure are so critical. Kevin McGrew summed up the new operating system for marketers perfectly. It's just 4 words. Try, fail, improve, succeed.
I like that.
Most teams try, fail, and just repeat the failure at scale because they let the AI run on autopilot. AI can take the shot, and it can move incredibly fast. But only the human can look at the failure, study exactly what broke in the process, adapt the strategy, and communicate the nuance to the market.
So to bring it all the way back to your opening metaphor, we have to be the ones analyzing the mud in the swimming pool, figuring out where the pipe broke and fixing the water source. We can't just stand there marveling at how fast the pump is running.
That's it. And if we connect all these themes, outbound intent, AI search discovery, broken tech stacks, and human judgment, and project this out a few years, we arrive at a really fascinating scenario.
What's that?
What happens when an enterprise buyer deploys an AI agent to evaluate vendors and it meets your AI seller agent?
Oh, wow. Agent to agent.
Yeah. The buyer's AI will parse your data perfectly. Your seller's AI will pitch perfectly. When the algorithms perfectly cancel each other out, the only tiebreaker left will be the offline human trust your brand has built in the real world.
The digital reputation system eventually just points right back to your human reputation. That is definitely something to really chew on as we navigate this transition.
Absolutely.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also, check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, MarTech, go-to-market, and social selling. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of B2B marketing.
Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.